What's up, everybody? We are finally getting started on the rear end. Here we have our jig to set our toe. One thing I also need to tell you, these rear arms are from CarTech. New pivot bushings, micro stubs, and then I'll have disc brakes as well. So we got going on right now is, like I said, setting toe. Once we get toe set, then we're going to string it and make sure it's tracking straight. And then see a couple templates right there. Those are old templates off a 1600 car, but what that helps us do is cut our spring plates to length and then get our toe set where we want it, and it'll always lock it there. So put you guys on fast forward for a couple minutes and then explain a couple more things. So we got our tracking and toe set. If you were watching in the last little fast forward, we got this guy. Hook it on the caliper bracket, string it across to the front beam. We're measuring from here out on each one. Obviously we got the same measurement. I want to say it was 12 1/4, so we know the car is tracking straight, and then measured inside of wheel front, inside of wheel back, and our toe is set about 16th toe in. So we're looking good on that. Now spring plates, templates, pretty much I just put that up there, gives me an idea of how much I need. So now I got to mark these guys, cut them down. Once I cut those guys down, we're gonna end up having to cut from about there and back, cut all this off. And the reason why is obviously going to 930 CVs and axles, we're gaining a ton more travel. Spring plate cap, this is gonna end up going there. As you can see how much longer that is, we're gonna end up having to make our own custom stop there. So we're gonna do a little more fast forward action, and set the spring plates, and also cutting off the stops here.
Déjame sola hoy en la mañana, déjame para allá, se va la gana. Yo te di todo. Siempre me dices que me amas, pero siempre en la cama. Cuando digo que te amo, sé que no te vale nada. No me juegues como ajedrez. Siempre me dices que me amas, pero siempre en la cama. Cuando digo que te amo, sé que no te vale nada. No me juegues como ajedrez.
All right, after a little bit of an ass kicking, which it typically is, finally got this thing figured out. Toe is set properly, and our tracking is also straight. What ended up happening when we started putting the spring plates in, and it was the pressure from the spring plate up against the rear trailing arm was a little too much. So what we ended up having to do was take one of the spacers, which there's typically 2 out here, and put it on the inside to move the whole arm out to relieve pressure here. So when we did that, that's why we had to string it, recheck the toe, recheck the square, and all that other good stuff. So as you can see here, here's a piece I cut off. You can see it there. Spring plates in, measured both sides. Now we're gonna mark them, drill holes in them, and that should finish up the spring plate shenanigans, and then we'll be able to start setting this motor in here and figuring out what we're gonna do about that. So I'll start drilling these things and then move on to the motor. Spring plate holes are drilled. Just got the stock German bolts in there for now. We're gonna switch those out with 1/2 inch fine thread. Both sides are done, and now we're gonna set the drive unit in and start figuring all that out, and then see what we're gonna do about some, possibly see if we can get some urethane mounts in there. One there, and then we got to make a custom mount right there. So we're gonna get that thing set in there and see what it looks like. Motor is sitting somewhat in its place. This is about where we're gonna put it. Put a little game plan together on what we're gonna do. Gotta cut the seat mounts out, but we're gonna run our floor bar long, attach it to the torsion housing to the front beam, and then we're gonna come through the tunnel here, across there, and shoot a bar down through each one of the pan halves, start running it back and create a cradle for the motor, and then we're gonna make the motor mount. So that is enough for today, and next video I'll be doing the floor rails and starting on the motor mounts. Hope you guys enjoyed what I had to do today on the rear end, and yeah, any questions, keep on putting them in the comments.